Fam, thank you for choosing to watch this episode of Mind the Mic podcast. Before we get into it, though, I need you to hit subscribe. And not just me, the whole Mind the Mic podcast family needs you to. Maddie, Uncle Pete, Stu, Leka, and of course myself, Shubz, and anybody else that's on board by the time you watch this video, we need you to hit subscribe. If it's your first time here, I understand if you're a bit reserved and you're like, I don't know, watch the video and after subscribe if you want to. But if you're here and you're watching all the time, subscribe. It's not that hard. All you got to do is, if you're watching on your TV, you're like, I can't subscribe, I don't have an account. You have a phone, don't you? I know you have a phone in your hand right now. Grab the phone, create a YouTube account. It takes a couple minutes, and then you can subscribe. And when you do that too, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we put up a new episode. I asked this of you because we put in so much time. We've done hundreds of episodes. We plan on doing thousands more with as many amazing people as we can. But we need you to subscribe, fam. Big love to everybody that's been watching. Big love to everybody that's been supporting and anybody that's just arrived. I hope you enjoy the journey, enjoy the episode, and subscribe. Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubz, here with a special guest, Mistee K, who's got a lot of hats that she wears, and we're going to learn about all these hats. What's good, Mistee K? How are you?
What's up, brother? Thank you for having me on the show. We made it.
Grateful for this first take that we're doing too. Yeah, hardly one of those things there. Yeah, no, hey, I guess because I said nothing about you besides you wear heaps of hats. Can you tell us about yourself?
Which portai you want to know about?
All of them. Give us all the portais that you want to expose.
Shit. Well, kia ora, everybody. Tuatahi he uri ahau no Ngāti Kahungunu ki te Wairoa, ngai tūhoi me Ngāti Tūwharetua, e mihi ana ki a koutou. Kia ora, everyone. My name is Melz, also known as Melz Huata Lucas, also known as Mistee K. On the stage, I'm a bit of a dabble in the music world and also now in the entrepreneurial space. So I guess that's kind of how we've landed here today. But yeah, born and raised in Hastings, Hawke's Bay, went to school down there and then landed up here in Tāmaki Makaurau and have been up here for the past almost 18 years. Well, actually have been here for 18 years now. Joined the Navy and that's how I ended up here in Tāmaki.
Solid. What was life like growing up in Hawke's Bay? Hastings, you're born in, right?
Yes, it was good. I was actually really fortunate, to have my my kaumātua around me. So that really was something that I cherish and I still carry with me to this day, even though, they're not here physically anymore, they're always with me. And so I feel like I was very lucky to be brought up around and in around my marae, kohu Pātiki, which is actually, let's just kind of dive into the name, Mistee K.
Yes, that's good.
Mistee is my middle name translated into English. So Maharata is my middle name, and that is a name I was given, named after one of my aunties. And the K represents kohu Pātiki. So now when I actually stand up on the stage and I perform, I go into this persona of Mistee K. And, I think for me, it was very imperative that I kind of took that name on, or that persona on, because for years I was known as Melz when I started out in the music scene, and the hate, those haters out there really affected me because when I started I was only 11, so shout out to Nui FM, Marae Nui, if you're familiar with Marae Nui, represent. Nui FM was the first radio station that played my track, So Baby, back in the day. So I always pay homage to where I started out.
At 11 years old, what's the So Baby stuff?
Actually, let me break that down for you.
Yeah,
so the studio, again, another mihi atu ki Studio 42 in Taupo. My uncle Squeege, who's still in the music industry, his son Zane is as well. Yeah, Zane Graham, he's very, very popular in the music scene too. I happened to be at their house one night when my dad and I were traveling up to Auckland, and there was this girl in there in the studio recording this song called So Baby. And, I wasn't really dabbling or thinking about going into the music scene until that night, actually. And watching this girl in there like rapping, like doing her rap flows and just being in the booth, you know. And
Yeah, the rap flows.
yeah, just seeing that, I was like, whoa, because I'm a hardcore G-Funk fan, you know, and Warren G is what, yeah, all of that is like my influence. Yeah, 100.
Okay.
So going in and seeing that, I was really inspired, you know. I was only, like I said, I was only 10, 11. And this girl was 16. Her name was Marlene Ham. And she had written the song called So Baby. And it was actually about domestic violence.
Ooh.
Right. So yeah, it was quite hard. And it was, you know, obviously, like, I didn't know what the song was about because I was still quite young, and I was very lucky. I was brought up in a really, you know, beautiful environment that
So
I
you
wasn't
didn't really
exposed
experience
to that.
it. Oh
no, so I hadn't been exposed to that life. Don't get me wrong, there have been moments, and obviously now I'm 35, there's been moments where I've experienced a lot of that stuff along the journey, but seeing her in there talking about it, seeing her in there talking about it, I thought, wow, this is just like powerful, right? She was a Jehovah's Witness though, and her parents didn't allow her to do this song. to do this song. Hey, if you haven't seen Friday, then you just don't know, you know,
hey, that's one of my favorite lines. That's probably like my favorite line when she's like, "Are you ready for Jehovah's return?" And the very shuts the door. She's like, "Well, fuck you."
Sorry, I'm trying to be on a serious note here.
sorry, guys. Just mind the mic. We all over the place over here.
Yeah, no, because we know. Hey, that's a classic. It's a classic movie. Anyway, back to the story. So yeah, that was how that kind of panned out. She wasn't allowed to perform the song and to record it. So she, my uncle had asked me that night if I would come in and sing the chorus to the song, which was So Baby. And I sang the song. I sang it, but I didn't know what it was about, right? Yeah. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, look, you know, this is the scenario, what's happened here. She'd be really keen to have you sing the song. We've changed the lyrics." So my cousin Zane ended up jumping on and doing the rap. And, you know, back then it was Little Bow Wow was the, you know, when yeah. And he legit sounded like him, right? So we were two youngins.
Well, at that age, what are you going to do? You're just going to copy people, right? It makes sense. You're just going to copy people, right?
Oh man, but his voice, like, he just started rapping the song. I'm like, yeah, this is giving that Bow Wow flow, you know? And so we went with it. And that song ended up being really, really popular down the bay, down in the Hawke's Bay. And so Nui FM was the first radio station to play it. And then Radio Kahungunu jumped on the bandwagon too. And so, you know, to have that kind of introduction to the music scene at such a young age and to have the opportunity, like, it just came about because of the luck that, you know, the luck of the draw of just being there at the right time. And I'd say also influential for the music, the starting of the music kind of thing for me was Hastings Intermediate, my music teacher there. I didn't know that I even had potential to use my voice in that way until my music teacher said to me, "I think you should audition for the choir," you know, and I was like, shy. I was really shy. I didn't know how to engage or get out there and perform and stuff. So that really brought out another side of me. And it wasn't until I actually started making music, bro, people stopped bullying me. Really? I've been bullied. Yeah, man. I was bullied all my primary school. And then my dad would say to me, you know, they're only boys bullying me. Then I found out it's because they like you, ladies.
Yeah,
so if any girls that out there,
you was a cutie.
They're out there bullying you, really. They just, you know, they actually want to be like, hello, I want to be your friend. So
that's that toxic treat of me and keep them keen.
So yeah, it was actually, you know, and people find it funny. They're like, how can you be bullied? I'm like, hey, you really don't know a person until you get to know a person, you know. We only share what we share on our social media because it's a window. It's not the whole doorway into our lives. Unless you get on Shubz' show, then you won't know. Like,
Yeah,
not
but
even
that's it.
gonna
And then
know,
we talk all fucking. Sometimes we go for ages. Sometimes people go, "Oh, I don't even know why I sit there," and I'm like, "Do you want me to cut it out?" And then they're like, "Nah," but yeah, I don't know why I sit there. Yeah, but that's it.
It
Like
is what
unless
it
you,
is.
because a lot of them, like that's the thing too, in that microwave era where everything is just quick popcorn, like So like
Yeah,
you only ever get like what's the longest video you get on social media? Maybe 10 minutes. Like you
that's
know what I mean?
right.
Not that long. You know what I mean?
Nah.
And then like you say, you're only showing one side or bit of
What you want
a
people to see, it's what you
mm,
want people to see. And
ah,
so when you get to like different points in your life, like even from going through that stage, I wouldn't be where I am today and be able to talk about it now
mm,
and own it and be like, you know what, fuck you, you bullies. Like, you know
yeah,
what,
fuck you, me,
yeah,
yeah,
what are you up to? Like,
yeah,
there's so much more that could be, there's so much kindness you can share with people if you just give them time. So yeah.
definitely. So what did you sound like a 11-year-old when you or nah when you were singing?
You know what? When I listen back to my music now, because I'm actually my own worst critic, right?
Aren't
But
we all?
yeah, we are. And I look there like, shit, man, get a girl, like I've actually got this photo that of me as like a 3 or 4-year-old that I look at sometimes when I doubt myself. And I would strongly encourage people to take this on board because I learned it from someone. I can't remember who it was. It was something or someone that I had saw or read about. I have this picture whenever I feel like I talk self-doubt or self-sabotage into myself and look at that picture of me as a 3 or 4-year-old, and I know damn well I wouldn't speak to her like that. So it's a good
Ooh.
reminder to be like, like speak that belief into yourself and things like that. And I
Boy, that's powerful,
think it's a
sis.
really good,
Just went
yeah.
on this bit of a just been going on a bit of a hiding on that sort of buzz recently, really, like sort of trying to heal the bro, heal the. Who the
The
hell is
inner.
trying to ring me? I don't know. I don't know who this number. Sorry, I just gotta get out of here. Sorry, my bad. Got two phones both ringing at the same time. I don't know what's going on.
That's right. I'm looking at my computer like, don't call me now.
Yeah.
Don't call me now because I'm
I just
on
put
this.
them on D&D. I usually do, but I forgot to. But yeah, on just on that hiding up, I was like, even last night I did with me and my also Lex, we do a show on here every week called UBU, which is just us being us, and
Yeah.
you can be you or we be us, whatever sort of thing. Just the voice, just talking, and sometimes we're reflecting, sometimes we're taking the piss out of things, whatever. It's just a Monday thing that we sort of just get on and
Me.
just share. But and then I had a mean epiphany on there yesterday, like last night, like of heaps of things. And then and one of the sisters came in that because I used to be like that. I used to tell myself like because I always work better. I felt like if someone told me I was shit, like a hater or something, or anybody
Yeah.
like, oh, you can't do this, and I'll be
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'll show you, you bastard. Like
Watch me. Yeah.
always been like that. And then then one of the sisters that we Yoda Thug, shout out Yoda Thug, we had a cordial with her one time, and then I said like that I said that's what I do, and she's like, oh, you need to like go and talk to your little kid brother. I was like,
Yeah.
and then I
Your
was
inner
like,
child.
I didn't really like I heard her, but I didn't really didn't really sink in then. But like, and it's been like maybe a couple of months since that cordial, and I've really been like having a look into that. But anyway, we're here for Mistee K, not Shubz. So
No,
yeah,
that's cool.
Hi,
That's cool. This is reciprocated energy, bro. That's what we're about.
cordial.
That's right.
Hey.
That's right. I'm glad that landed for you because
Mm.
at the end of the day, we wouldn't talk to our inner child like that.
Yeah.
Hey, so why does it have to change when we get older? And I think that's what society like does to us. It makes us think we have to be some type of way, but we actually lose our inner child. We don't go out and jump around outside in the rain anymore. Like we don't go and do stuff like that. Whereas now that I've got children, I'm doing that stuff. I got 4 boys at that, so for me it's like I gotta get out there. I got twins too.
Twins.
Yeah.
How many was it 4 under 4?
Yeah, it was.
Fuck, someone was hungry, yeah. The Kai Munchies, yeah. Full of smoking that shit.
What can I say, though? What can I say?
But the good say, sister.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
right. Wait, but...
Yeah, so, yeah. Let me just get a drink of that Klug.
Yeah, I'm going to get one too. I can still hear you.
On that good way, bro. On that good way.
There would have been some of those noises going on too. It's just, But
bro, you're telling the story, bro.
yeah, that's what I am. That's right. I'm the narrator.
Oh my god.
No, but
yeah,
you're right.
There's
You
never a
wouldn't.
dull moment, bro. Never a dull moment.
Yeah, 100. But you wouldn't now. You're right. You wouldn't say those kinds of things. And I had a call with a bro last week, and he talked about because we both had like quite ugly upbringings, a lot of drugs, alcohol, like him and I, a lot of sexual abuse, all that stuff, which I'm open about and I talk about on here. Not for club, just because I feel like, it's the more that we are able to talk about it, the less it can live under rocks and people can just sweep it under the rug like a lot of whānaus do, fucking bullshit. And then a lot of times sometimes it can be years between, the events get so long that this person's changed, like still a scumbag, but anyway, still a scumbag though, like just because it was 10 years and couldn't get change their life. Still anyway, and he was saying that when you beat your kids, you don't make them hate you make them hate themselves. And I was like, fuck, that resonated hearty for me anyway. But that's sort of on the same hiding up. But anyway, back to the fucking 4 kids.
It's right though, bro. It's right though, bro. Like, are you a papa yourself yet?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so like for us, we know that we wouldn't want our children to speak to themselves in that way, or to feel like they can't come to us, like they can't come and speak to mum and dad. So
that's a big one. It's just that one, like especially like even not wanting them to, like, I don't know, growing up you just get a crack just for getting a crack, just like. Well, even and like 30 years later, I'm like, fuck, why did I get that crack? I don't even know why. I got that dong for, you know what I mean? But it's like, well, like the ones that I did shit, I get that. But like the other ones, I'm like, and then like even that I was always made a like conscious decision to, when I did have tamariki, to never like make them feel like they don't know why they got a growling or whatever, and not to give them a dong either, but they don't know why they were disciplined or they were told off or something like that. And even if you have to take a little time and woosah, they come back and say, hey, this is why the papa said this, you know what I mean? Because if you put your hand on the stove, you're gonna get burnt out, you know what I mean?
That's
or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
That's
right, bro. It's no one gives you a manual of how to be a parent or how to be a good parent like that. So it's definitely a what is it? On-job training. You're learning.
When people are like, oh no, you got to get ready because you can't get ready. Like even you could say financially, you could become stable, a bit more stable, and that. But still, like, there's way more shit once you have kids that throw up that. Oh shit! Like I wasn't ready for that.
You know what, bro? I don't think.
Ready.
Yeah, there is no getting ready for having children. There's no right time to have a family. There's no right time to start a business. There's no right time to do whatever. You just have to do it. You just have to mahi a te mahi. You just have to fall in. Fall in or fall out. Fall in or fall out. You know what I mean?
Have kids, fall in.
But I think, with it, like you said, like with our tamariki, we want them to have that, like, be comfortable with us to be able to talk about anything. And, it's taken me years, with my parents to even tell them how I truly felt, like years and years later. So I mean, 30 years, it took me till I was 30, I think, to just be like honest and just say, hey, look, like that wasn't okay, but I've got a really good relationship with my parents, with both of them.
That's good, because a lot of people
grateful. That's right. And they're in two, they've got their own, my dad's got a new whānau. He's got his own. Yeah, well, you know what, bro? It's up to us how we respond. How we respond to the situation. Like if it's not for us to carry, is what I want to say. As the child, it's not up to us to carry the burdens of what our parents or whoever those caregivers have placed upon us, because I feel like at the end of the day, whatever emotion we go through is valid for us, is valid for us and whatever we go through, So like, to some people, they might say, oh, you had a really squeaky clean upbringing. I'm like, well, actually, no, I did not. Fuck, man, I had some pretty shit times too, where I'm the oldest. To my mum and dad, they had 3 of us, and then my dad has remarried since, and he's got 4 others, and like we're all siblings. But I grew up with my 2 younger my two younger siblings, we grew up together, and like we're quite far apart. So like I am 9 years apart from my younger sister, and then my brother's 12 years apart, right? We're all creatives. Oh, true. Yes. Well, cool. See,
Yeah,
and being the oldest.
I think I was 9 when she was born. Because my parents were teenagers, but
and being the oldest, there's like all this responsibility. Like, really, I was rebellious. I probably made all the mistakes so that the next ones don't make the same mistake. And fortunately, they haven't. I learn a lot from my younger siblings. You know, they're a lot wiser than me, I would say. However, you know, we're very close, which I'm grateful for. You know, and they really are the ones that keep me in check as well, and remind me too of, you know, celebrating wins and stuff. Because I guess when you have a certain way of living, like I said, for me, there was a period there for 9 years where I was only child. And there is a thing of this only child syndrome. And don't tell me there isn't if you are only child, because I freaking know there is, okay? There's only child syndrome where you get everything you want. And then when something else comes along or someone else comes along, it's like, oh, you don't want to share. Well, too bad. You got to learn to share, because when you share, you can share insights. You can share a story with someone that you know's got your back. You can share so much with someone else. You know, it's better to do things together than on your own.
So did you not really grow up like so it was literally just you, like you didn't grow up, like your cousins didn't live with you or anything like that? Like you were in
they did. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, for me being the only child, it was like school holidays. Like I said, I was lucky that I lived close to the park, close to the marae. And when I say the marae, it was like a horseshoe. All the cousins lived around the horseshoe, right? So we would all meet at each other's whare, but then we'd still go home, and then it's still me, you know. So I had my my little cousin, and she was kind of like my sister. We were like sisters as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was a bit different because I got taken off my old, my old lady, you know what I mean? So my nan and I grew up with them, and then, like, you know, sort of passed around. But my brother, which was my first cousin, we grew up like brothers together. And then his little sister, which was like my little sister, they were closer. But then my actual next sibling was like 9 years after I was born.
Yeah.
That I know of, actually, because my old man's got a few. Yeah. the man's got a few. Shout out to my old man. He's a loving man.
Loving man, loving man.
Yeah, the man.
Hey, that's one thing I want to know. Like, are you sure? Is there any more? Just tell me. Let me know now, because I don't want to be seeing anyone later on.
Bro, he don't even know if there's any more. Like,
you know,
keep you high there, follow, you know, just even a bit of a holiday back home. He made another one like fucking 10 years ago, you know. Too much.
Oh shit. Yeah, whānau things.
Whānau things. But so what ages are you were your parents in the Navy when you were growing up?
Yep. So I'm an 88 baby. I was born in 1988. My mum got out then. So she did 6 years in the Navy. And then so she was 24 when she had me. Then you do the math, bro. Then my dad, he was in there till 1990. I want to say 6, maybe. Okay. He did I think he did like 9 years, my dad. He's a little bit younger than my mum.
What about you now?
My mum's a beautiful wahine, but you know, my Tani's a bit older than me.
Oh, true. You went the other way. You went the other way. What's a bit like? How many older?
A man who knows what he wants, you know.
You know what he wants, what to do, what it is.
But you know, my big boy, out of the 4, he's actually my bonus son. So I came in and raised him. So my Tani had two tamariki before him and I got together, and he's my bonus. I raised him from 8 weeks old, so he's very much, you know, my son.
How did you meet the boy? Is he Māori or?
Yeah, I hear Māori. He kai ako Māori nai nei. So he's in the Navy too. He was my boss.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Bro, that's an offline corridor, bro.
Oh, they're not the Me Too. Yeah,
So
how
start
did
your
this,
own business so you're the boss. No.
yeah. So how did this happen anyway? Like, how did you end up? Was he your boss for a while?
For
But did you get
6
out by the time?
months.
Oh,
Nah, bro. Nah.
let's go, baby. What they gonna do? Fucking 10 years later, is it 10 years deep, or was it, or longer?
Nah, bro. So this is where
Okay,
the growth
okay.
happened, right?
Yeah,
Like
call
in
it
terms of
growth. Yeah, something grew.
so I was 23, bro. I was 23 then, and I was still trying to find my feet in the Navy, merge through to music, all of that stuff. And yeah, so pretty much was labeled all the things under the sun in terms of home wrecker, da 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 da. So I've gone through that shit.
Oh yeah.
Gone through that shit. Now, if you know the military, bro, well, you know some of us in there already. We've already spoken about that, but everyone knows your fucking business, man. Like
True.
there is no way that you can get away with anything in there, especially when you know someone in there who knows everybody's business, except they don't know the right story.
Yeah,
He kōrero rukahu.
Yeah.
It's like whispers, whispers. So now at least you get to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? But now at that time, it was like I'd fully gone against all my morals and values of what I grew up with. I too I grew up with my grandparents, like I said, and they were solid, very much in love, and we all longed for that kind of aroha that our grandparents had too. Anyway, that when this came out, we actually were both single, so people didn't know that because we didn't go. There you go. Now you fucking know, you little gronks. That's right. So you can paint whatever picture you want. At the end of the day, that's what it was. Yeah. But unfortunately, things took a turn, and he had a tamariki, he had a daughter. So it was like, here I am, the 23-year-old, and he has to think about his daughter, and I get that. So he had to go back to fixing things there. Okay. And from there, I had to work on me again. I had to deal with the backlash, but so did he. We both did.
Okay. And so it wasn't just a smooth fucking
nah, bro.
True journey, yeah. Yes.
Went the complete opposite way. I'd come out of a long 9-year relationship with someone I was with from high school. So, we were both.
Since you fucking did that song, it sounds like.
Bro, it was like,
a couple years later.
Bro, go and listen to the albums, bro. Then you're like, is that what happened? Because lucky for me, I had my music. Yeah, that was my outlet. Yeah, like whereas some people don't have that. Yeah, that's true. Don't have that luxury. So you could go one way or the other way. But I also fell into a real low depressive state, and and try to take my own life. So I've also from that experience have become.
Can you talk about this?
Yeah.
I talk about that.
That's why I talk about it now. Yeah, and then that coming from that experience of being like so young and thinking like my life's over because all of this, now my reputation has been tarnished. It's actually like helped me to be an advocate for people that are struggling in that way. So yeah, when that happened, I actually took to a cliff and was preparing to jump. And that year was actually quite heavy because I'd lost my nan, dealing with a heartbreak as well. And just even speaking about it, like the emotions come back because it's like so fresh. It's just like you were talking about being a child and still having those memories, in your mind of that moment. But yeah, and I actually slipped. I slipped instead of like as I was about to jump, I actually slipped, and then my nan was right there. Like I could feel her talking to me and telling me, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, wairua. And
what do you mean slipped? Like you were gonna do
like
that? And you just fell over before you
there was like it was like the cliff had broken away a little bit. So where it is, where it was, it just kind of was lucky that I didn't, because all I had to take was one more step, and then I would have been gone. but I actually the cliff broke away from me, so I slipped and I landed on this piece of wood, and then I felt my nan and she was talking to me, and then from that moment, I just knew I had to ask for help. So I went out there and I asked for help. I got counseling, and then just really fully dove into my music. And from that came 2 albums. And then 2 years later, my Tani and I reconnected again. So it was like I needed that. I needed that. Okay, so then a year later, my grandfather passed away. So my nan's husband passed away.
Oh, the same. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they, like I said, they were 2 peas in a pod, bro. And I still think my papa passed from a broken heart. He would have missed. You know. And then my Tani had lost his uncle, who was like a father figure to him. And so that's where I believe they brought us back together again, because had he not, I probably wouldn't have spoken to him again. But knowing that his papa had passed, I reached out and I said, I'm really sorry for your loss. This is like 2 years later, though. Really sorry for your loss. And then, from there, a week after he passed, my papa passed. And he reached out to me, and that's how we reconnected. So from there, it was just kōrero, see where we're at. And then, then I was almost on my way to France. France with our Navy trip. And I said to him, what are we? Are we together or not? Because we're about to fly out.
Oh,
what are we? I don't want to be like, next minute we're actually together. So, and then, the rest has been history, been solid for 10 years. So it's been really good.
Shout out to the nannies and the papas and all that.
Shout out to the anahiras that, there's a lot of wairua work happening in the background. And, like any relationship, it's got to start with the friendship too. I believe that. I think us having that friendship, getting to know each other, having him support me in my music, especially because the music industry for me had always been quite male dominated. So being in that space, I needed my Tani to trust me, come with me, come and meet the people I'm working with. Because my brothers in that space are my brothers. Once you're a bro, you're always a bro. You know what I mean? If I'm your sis, that's it. We are brothers. There's no crossovers. Sis next minute. Even come down to that. I'm like, bro, don't even. I don't have a dick, so don't ever call me bro. That's like a pet peeve as well. We always talk about it. Like my sister and I, she's a muso too. And we're like, oh yeah, man, I cringe. And they go, cheer, bro. And I'm like, oh, cheer, sis. And he's like, hey. They look at me twice. I'm like, well, you just called me bro. So that's a little bit of the hitori behind how we got together and stuff and created our pāhara keke.
Oh
yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Baby, let's go. I like it.
Yeah, and I've got 4 chances of NRL players, so so let's go. My boys love league, and their cousins are ripping it. Oh, bro. Okay, so their cousins play in the NRL too, so they're a bit wee wawa when it comes to the teams.
Cool. Who's those fellas?
Joe Chan, he's in the Melbourne Storm. And the McLean brothers. Yeah. So is that
a son? Alex, is that Alex Chan's son?
That's his son. Yep. So Alex is my Tani's cousin.
Is he Māori?
Like a big brother.
They
are.
Oh,
Māori,
I thought they were
Chinese.
Jackie's cousins. Oh, they are. Yeah.
Of course they are, bro.
Yeah.
So Joe Chan, and then you got the McLean brothers, and they're actually Joe's first cousins in the Panthers. Jesse McLean and Casey McLean. So he just debuted in the weekend. So my boys
on the weekend.
They'll be ones to get on your show too, bro. But my sons, we're doggies up in here, bro.
Yeah.
We love the doggies up, the doggies fans, up in here.
Yeah, dog pound doggy style. That's it.
You know it, bro. Fucking DPG.
Yeah. Solid.
So what about you? Who's your team?
No, Warriors to the death, sis, but
Ooh, up the
it
waz,
is
eh?
what it is. Up the wires always.
Lucky
Again,
Zelensky
my
back with the
earliest,
doggies. Nah.
yeah, my earliest memories of sports, not the All Blacks, it's the Warriors. Like like proper ones where like I went to games and stuff. I was like, with like 95s. Like, yeah, I just
Stacey,
remember
is
this
that
was
Stacey
Warriors.
in them?
Yeah. Stacey. He's a whananga through his koro maunga and my nan and first cousins. Maunga Emery.
Cool.
Yeah. But like just Warriors always. That probably
Man,
helped too, like having someone that you to look up to that played just like your boys.
yeah.
Yeah. But always Warriors, Kiwis.
Positive.
Like, what about State of Origin? Or you don't care?
Maroons, bro.
Yeah. Last time I checked, Bankstown's in fucking Sydney.
Bro. That's all good, bro. We just got the opposition, bro. Got the opposition for the origin, bro. But no, we might be. Oh well, I said to my Tani the other week, I said, "Oh babe, shit, I might have to jump ship soon because the nephews are in the New South Wales Cup, so."
But as like, are
the blue.
you? Oh, true. Are you allowed to do that on the Navy? Oh no, they thought you jumped ship anyway. Yeah. So Navy, sis, how does that work? So obviously your parents are in a Navy. Was that always a goal of yours as a kid, like to go and join the Navy?
Not at all, bro. Nah, not at all, man. Like mine was to be a singer from the moment that I went into that booth and did that recording. I was hooked on music. So we formed our own crew back home called 06, 06 Official. And I was the first lady in there. So for us, it was like I was surrounded by the bros, and this is the thing, like you said it before, you're like, I'm like, yeah, I got lots of whānau and friends in the gangs and stuff.
Well, as soon as you said Hastings, that's the first thing. That's the first word that comes to my mind.
Not the fruit bowl of New Zealand, bro. Far out. Nah, we So with that, I was like, I wanted to do music, but my mum was like, "No, you're off to the Navy," and I thought, I don't want to go to the Navy. I cried, bro. I was like, I don't want to leave. I had my boyfriend at the time. I was like, I don't want to go. I want to stay home and do music.
Yeah,
that one. Let's not go there, bro.
Nah,
bro.
Okay.
So we wanted to, I wanted to stay down in Hastings and do music or do something other than that. But I'm glad that my mum pushed me, and she pushed me into the Navy, because I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without that. I wouldn't have met my Tani and had that story I just told you before. But 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 no, I'm glad that she encouraged me to join. My last year at high school, I kind of bro. I wish I could redo that year again. I tell you.
Look at you.
Bro, I was the dep head at high school, and I went to the deputy head girl, and I went to school on assembly days, and that was it, bro.
How did you crack that out? Assembly days?
Bro, it was the only day the visibility was going to be there. Naughty, eh?
That's it. Wow, the bros there all the time.
Don't take that away, you guys out there trying to be, prefects. Definitely don't do what I did. But anyways, and then my mum was like, well, what are you going to do when you leave school? Year 13, blah, blah, blah. It's like, shit, I'm used to the 7th form, 3rd form, all that kind of stuff. But I still get confused when they say, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I said to her, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. She's like, well, let's apply for this Navy, recruiters coming through. So I applied for the Navy anyway, hoping I wouldn't get in. But I did, and I ended up getting approved I got qualified to come in as an officer, which was, the intake was in September of that final year at high school. And I asked if I could push it out, and they said, our next intake isn't until April the following year. So I ended up finishing the year of high school, started going to school a bit more than assembly days. And then I joined the Navy in April 2006 as a communications operator. So really, that's like the secret squirrels. Me and Oars were the same trade.
The Oars.
So we were, like the secret squirrels. Morse code with flags and flashing light. Don't ask me how to read it now because I would not be able to tell you. But you know, it was a really cool experience. I think even now when I go back, because I still have quite a lot to do with the past, with the Navy and with our Defence Force. But when I joined, the first year I joined, I was like, oh man, I cried every night for 2 weeks. The first lot of training, I was like, I hate this. I want to go home. We couldn't have our phones, so we had to text. Oh, sorry, we had to write, you know, write and send mail through birds. But it was an experience, bro. It was an experience. Not the pukekals running the road. Nah, it was cool though. You know, looking back, that was probably the best part of my career was actually, the training, being everyone's in the same boat. We're all like scared. We all young. I was only 17 when I joined, so I was one of the youngest in my intake. Yeah, bro. And then after that, straight out into the big wide world, bro. I was still ringing home asking my mum if I could go out to the clubs, man, because I was like 17 and my mates were going, what are you up to, sis? And I was like, I'm just ringing to see if it's all good with my mum. If I go out to the clubs, they're like, you're in the Navy, you pay your own bills. And I was like, yeah.
Fucking if I do.
I was like, yeah. Next minute I'm ringing my mum going, oh mum, I don't have to ask you anymore because I've paid my own. She's like, what? I'm like, okay, hold your horses. But yeah, it was an experience, bro. Oh, it was so
Were there
fun.
many girls? Were there many wahine in there?
At that time, it wasn't really how it is now. Is a lot. It's like quite half and half with our
true.
Men and women. But I mean, you got everything in there now. I mean, you got all the things in the military, bro. Not just in the Navy, but yeah, it's a different Navy to what it was when I joined. And my mum would probably say,
what do you mean? Like you're talking about, like fucking I get what you mean.
You get what? Yeah, bro. Read between those lines, bro. Smoky mirrors.
This fucking don't make no sense. That shit. Like makes sense. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, sis. If you're Tani and you like Tanis, break your heart. You know, if you're both of age and you consent, fucking and same for wahine. But like, bro, don't tell my kids they have to be anything but kids, bro. Shut up.
That's right, 100%, bro. Like, come on, man. That's making shit difficult. Way more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah, I had a fucking toaster and all this shit though. You know. Anyway, whatever, bro. Yeah.
So yeah, it was break even now, but back then there was a lot more tani to the wahine, and it was kind of like really trying to, that whole stigma of trying to keep up with like the tani was a big thing.
Were they hungry too? Some of their followers hungry. Touch you.
Like like fucking Vegeta, Goku shit.
Hey, cheers. Spirit bomb.
Tell you what, bro, like one thing I definitely didn't do, which I should have done, was freaking hit those roads every day, because man, that fitness was crazy. When I thought, oh yo, the Navy will be like, the Navy won't be as hard as the Army. Next minute, bro, puffing, like it's, I'm thinking, holy heck, this is intense. But whenever we would all go out there. Once you join the military, bro, you're a recruiter for every force, and it's like I was proud to wear that uniform, and still no matter what, and I'm sure all my Navy brothers and sisters would say this too, even when you get out, you still represent your force, whether you're in the uniform or not. I'm proud that I was able to serve our country, and I was in uniform for 5 years of my 15-year career in the Defence Force. The rest of it was actually a hiding. 3 years ago I got out. Hey, I got out of the pen 3 years ago, bro. As you feel, it's like a whole nother world. Like you definitely are institutionalized.
Yeah, I think the third.
Oh yeah.
I had one. There was an American Navy.
Right.
One of the pros. But he went AWOL, but because his mumsy was having a baby, and they were just in port for whatever, I don't know. He said they were just there for ages, but he was like he got leave to go to the birth, but then
Yeah.
it went longer, and then she had to get induced, and then it went over his thing, and then like she's on the table, giving, she's
Oh,
giving
shit.
birth, and the
Yeah.
fucking thing's ringing the his captain or whatever, the fellow of the ship. He's ringing him, and he says, "Get the fuck back on the ship," but his baby's coming out of his mumsy at the same time, and he said, "Fuck you," and hung up, and then the bro ended up doing like a couple,
Yeah.
I think like a month's jail, like actual,
Yeah.
and he went to the penitentiary, and then they're like, "Well, yeah," it's like, "Oh fuck," like these
Hey,
are
well,
murderers and all this stuff, and it's like, he said the guards in there felt bad because it's America too.
yeah, that's a bit intense, eh?
Yeah, hectic,
Wow.
But he reckons like his mum was in Navy too. He reckons his mum
Oh,
was
yeah.
Navy too, and she went and told him and said, because he not only did that happen, but after the baby was born, like he didn't just go back, he didn't go back for 30 days,
Ah.
and then the mum was like, go back, take the punishment, like, and then he
Yeah.
went back, and they cuffed him straight away as soon as he got on the boat, and then he got off. Then they took him to thing, and they were gonna do him for 5 years.
That's crazy, eh? Like,
Yeah. But he said he was just
it's
scared. That's why he didn't go back, because he told the bro, "Fuck you."
it's for real though. Like, it'd be like that. It's some of the offences are a lot more harsher than what you would probably get outside. Like, so yeah, it's lucky for me, I was a good comrade.
Yeah.
No.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah. Hang on. What did my darling say? He says, just don't get caught.
But you still
No,
anyway.
Hey, we did, but we didn't. But we did.
Yeah, that's it. Hey,
Nah,
so still strong.
experience.
How long?
Pass it on.
How long
Pass
were
it
you
on.
apart for? 2 years, and then back together.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's all.
So
Hey, I mean,
yeah,
and then you made it
work
through
on
that
ourselves.
whole.
Is work on ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, but you made it through that thing. I think, like, just speaking on that too, on how you made it through, and like obviously you're big on corduroying about that mental side, and
Yeah.
that's hard because I experienced the same. I've tried to take my life a couple of times. This whole podcast is actually born out of that, to be honest.
Cool.
A year ago, last year, I was about to hang myself, and my baby woke up crying and teething, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I better finish. I'll come back and finish the job after I put him to sleep." Put him back to sleep in there,
Yeah.
and then but I was about to do it. Had it all ready, but to over, and then I just could hear him crying, and he was crying for ages. I was like, fuck, better go sort this out. But then I sort of, when I picked him up, I'm consoling him, trying to put him back to back to Moi, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, what I'm up to? Like, I'm not happy in myself. What do I want to do? What's going on? And kaheke ngā roimata, it was like rangi crying for papa, man. It was on, and I was just I just said to myself, well, I want to do podcasting. I want to do it for ages. So like, well, what do I got to do? This was May last year, so I said to myself, for the next whatever time, I'm gonna do something every day towards that goal. And when I launch in January, whether I launch by myself, I launch with other people, whatever, I'm gonna do it.
Cool.
And so that's what I did. And yeah, like I said, launched in January, and here we are. But this has been just daily
that's
deposit.
really sorry to hear that, bro. I mean, even you just
that was my third time, Melz, but like my last time, I guess I think I think
this is the thing though. It's something that like you said, May last year, April last year, that was me too.
Oh, Icky. Oh,
yeah.
Rick.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there are.
Look at us now. We wouldn't be here. So fucking talking shit.
I
No.
Hey,
I'm talking shit.
You're not. Hey, I mean,
yeah, that's right.
At the end of the day, like, man, every day is a blessing. Like, if we can just make it through the day, if we can get up out of bed, like, yeah, ka nui te aroha, moi, bro. I just a lot of, like, I understand that, because even now, like, it's definitely an ongoing thing that we have to always go and get counseling about, always.
I didn't even do that, but yeah, maybe I should. But this is my counseling.
That's right. Yeah, whakawhiti kōrero, you find your way of healing. Like, for me, I'm grateful to be able to tell my boys a story every night, bedtime story. Like, we just last week, we were just in Japan for our business convention. And even then I was still sending back my bedtime stories on my messenger to them so that they could listen, and it's like those things they're actually so real. Like, we deal with those mental struggles all the time. And like, sometimes it could be, we're just so overwhelmed with we're not doing things, we're not good enough, we're not da-da-da. That's why I said it's self-sabotage. And so having that picture as a reminder, because at that time I didn't have that picture of me, that 3 or 4-year-old picture, right? So knowing that that's where you were too back then is like, it shows me even how real it is, because I was there too. Last year, April, was when I actually told my whānau, like, I'm getting counselling because I felt like I want to do something. I don't want to be here. You know, I felt like I just don't want to be here. Work was hard. Life was hard. Home was hard. Struggling because my health was bad. Like, all the things were just piling up one on top of the other. So it is definitely something that I think has pivoted the way that I work on the daily now. Like, people can say, oh, do this, do your journaling, get up early, or blah, blah, blah. But really, is it sustainable for you? Like, you got to find what works for you.
I know.
You can't
And
copy
just,
what works for everyone else. Like,
and whatever works for you, and just find your, like, I feel like now there's just like this, obviously, like you said, it's a constant mahi. It's a constant, like, you gotta, like, people think you don't do it, then it's over. Like, nah, like, the hara's still there. You know what I mean? You just either didn't do it or you failed. Like, because I've had attempts where I've hung myself and then the thing snapped and it shouldn't have snapped, And going back to that anahera kōrero, and even I've had the other time, the first time I actually tried to, was like, try to play Russian roulette with myself, couple bullets, fucking.
Yeah.
And like, go to 2 clicks, and then the second, I know the third click's definitely a bullet. So then by then I'm starting to think, fuck, do I want this? And then I'm looking down at the water and I can hear every little thing is gonna be all right. And I'm like, oh, is that like, and then I'm looking down at my at the way, and I'm sitting on a bridge, and I'm like, I'm looking at my life, and I don't have kids yet. I don't have, I always wanted to have children one day, and all of these things. So I'm looking down, I'm like, oh yeah, so that like there was another, pivotal. But yeah, I think the decision to not to not do it, but then to say, okay, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do this. And my goal is to make the biggest podcast in the world. That's a crazy statement, right? But like, for me, but if you're not shooting for the top, what are we doing? Like, why can't tangata Māori, tangata Pacifica come and create something that, when people open their phones and they see Joe Rogan, they see all these, they can see our podcast. But our podcast is not just about, and then I wanted to, whoever wants to come with me, I'll just, put it to a few people. And, there's like, grateful there's been like, 4 soldiers that are still rolling with me, together, and like, we do shows together. We, because we don't just do interviews, like, we do shows with my bro, me and the sister, a show where she brings quotes and we break those down every week and what they mean to us. And she just does all that mahi. I just rock up in there, and then even we watch the Warriors games every week with, sometimes there's like 1,000 people across all the streams, but even if there was no one, it was just us hanging out. Like, it's still enjoyable hearing everyone's kōreros like yours on here. It's definitely uplifting, and it also, like I said, I think this is my my therapy, my counseling. And I feel like I've never, like, I don't feel like this is mahi. I've done 280 podcasts plus since January,
right?
but it doesn't feel like mahi. Like, the body gets tired, but like but when it comes to, like, the desire to continue, no, I still feel like
it's your therapy, right? Like, I've got a podcast too.
Yeah, so, and our passion though was to do this, like therapy. But I feel like I'm in my purpose, like talking to people like yourself, and we'll eventually get Sissy Alls on here. She said she will when she sorts a few things out, and many other people. Eventually, we have people like LeBron James on here. You know what I mean? But I'll always have a space for anybody, whether they have a platform or not, to come on and call it.
That's so cool.
They want to share a story, because that's my goal. It's just and I look at it this way. It's just like, we grow up and we hear about Plato, Aristotle, Homer, not the Simpson, but the Greek scholar, Socrates, all those old scholars from Greece are put on a pedestal as like the greatest minds of ancient times. Like our people weren't traversing the great oceans using the stars, and had our own stories, and it's our own fucking cool shit before those fellas could even read and write. So I feel like we got some cool stories we can show to the world too.
For sure, bro, for sure. And like, that's the thing I was just saying as you were talking, because I've got a podcast too.
Yeah.
And just had the bro Rafetiro on a couple of weeks back, and he says how us as Māori, we've got our own superpowers, bro. We are, we have our atua, we have all the things that are really embedded in us. Not all of us have been fortunate enough to grow up with those pūrākau, you know, but for those of us who have, it's our opportunity to share those with our people. And my podcast is based off the same kind of thing. It's based off, you know, our Māori and Pacifica entrepreneurs and how they are making it work in that space, and being able to share their insights and their tips and tricks for our people. Because the thing that I found most working in the entrepreneurial,
what's the podcast
so put that portai on, Waka Chats.
Waka Chats. There you go. Check it out.
Yeah.
You can send us the thing, the links out. I'll put it in the thing.
I will. So we're just literally sitting in our waka having a chat about this, and it's raw. No, it's nothing. I just upload it as it is, and for me, it's just about sharing from our own people so that we can hear ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we can hear from millionaires who are Māori, from billionaires who are Māori, from how the strategy in which they use to get there. So it's really all about the work ethic side of building a business and building a successful business in your eyes. And for me, like, bro, congratulations, like 280 something, 83, did you say? Or 80?
80, I don't know, 80 something recorded, and I think 241 released so far today.
That's amazing. That is amazing, bro. Congratulations. That's huge. And like, you know, to hear about a little bit more about who you are as a person, like nōku te honore, bro. I'm really grateful. Thank you for sharing your insights and your whakaaro with the world, bro. Like, you said that it might be far-fetched to have the biggest podcast. I don't reckon, bro. I reckon you will.
Oh no, I don't reckon, but like I don't believe. I believe in my fucking stuff. You know what I mean? 100,
yeah, good.
But I know when people hear that, they'll be like, "Oh, that's crazy." I was like, "Yeah, of course. That's why you don't go."
They're not your people.
You know what I mean? That's why you don't chase nothing.
They're not your people. Then, eh? Like
that's why you're still sitting at home judging now. You know what I mean? Go get it. Go get it. Like, and I wanna see all of our people. Like, if they want to, like, you know, even the cool thing about this, like, I've been able to connect a few different artists, like rappers that have quite platforms, but I haven't connect a couple of those. You might even connect some with Jesus, but like anything like that, like, you know, Manaungatanga and Afi and Manaakitanga, just like, you know, all of, like, bringing, like, you know, we are Māori. Like no matter, like, I've been in Australia for a lot of my life. If you look at my bio, it says Māori blood and Zach Hart, because I've lived there for a long time, and it's given us a lot of opportunities, this place. But I'm grateful, you know what I mean? I'm grateful for both, but doesn't matter where I go. So I'm always a Māori, you know, he Māori tuatahi, you know what I mean? Always, you know?
I love that.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, like, when you don't lose sight of who you are, then you're good. You're always going to be grounded and embedded in your roots of who you are, you know? And so that the fact that you use your platform as an opportunity to interweave others as well, like he rautaki tērā, like that's a mean whakaaro to push out there as well. The fact that it's never about you, it's always about how can I be served other people. That's why you're a great entrepreneur, bro. Really, that's that mindset.
Yeah, we just like, and I just think we can, like, at the end of the day, there's enough air for us all to breathe out. There's enough kai for us all to eat, and the more we see that, the more and the more you talk to, when you're talking about entrepreneurs and millionaires, the more you talk to those kinds of people too, a lot of them they don't have a famine mindset of like, oh, just get mine, and you go, no, they're collaborator. You know what I mean? Like they work with other followers who have the same whakaaros and connect and grow. You know, he waka eke noa. So like, yeah, I don't know.
You know, but sometimes, bro, like from what I've witnessed in the last, probably even just the last 6 months, even being in those spaces, some of them really don't align with me, because for me, like, freedom might look a bit different to how other entrepreneurs are thinking. Like when you think billionaires and millionaires, like they're thinking about the money, whereas I'm thinking about, I don't want to have to look at my account. I just want to swipe and go. You know, like, oh, I just want to be able to take us on a trip. Where do we want to go to next? Like, I want to be able to do that comfortably, but not be like, I'm this bougie billionaire that has all the things, you know, because for me, things can disappear. And I know that for facts, because we were affected by the floods last year, you know, so when everything was taken, it was like, whoa, what's really important is our whānau, it's our marae, it's our urupa. We can't replace those things, you know, we can't replace that. So money can't buy those kinds of things. And if you're really consumed and really just concerned about the money, then invest into something that's going to be there long after you leave, you know.
Yeah, but if that's your only chase, you'll never be happy, because bro. So that is, you can always get more. There's always going to be someone richer, cause unless you know what I mean. Like, If you have the richest company in the world, like people thought Apple or Google was gonna stay top, Nvidia or
Nah,
whatever just jumped over them, like But that's the game, you know what I mean? Because there's other
yeah,
people chasing it. But it's for me, it's not. It's my pursuit of building the biggest podcast in the world is not competition to anybody but myself, but also it's just a goal to be like, can we do it?
yeah,
Like a TikTok, and then the goal was to get #1 on TikTok Australia. Now the raw rankings. Took a
yeah.
couple of years because we got banned. There's heaps of haters on there, but that's the journey, and we cracked that. But then in that pursuit, I also sort of lost myself a little bit, and that's when the whole wanting to do
Mm,
something like that it happened. But it wasn't because of that. It was because I neglected things myself. You know what I mean? And wasn't
yeah.
living in my purpose, which I feel like I am now, sis. And
I'm grateful that
and
we cross
listening to
paths. It's
you,
cool.
it sounds like you are too, sis. Speaking of entrepreneur, what's Amaia Inc? How te ara? And what kind of entrepreneurial stuff do you get up to besides
Yeah.
that?
So actually, while I was in the Navy, about a year before I got out, I invested into our company, which is a magic high ticket. We all sell the water ionizers. And so at that time, it was just my sister and I had invested. And then Amaia Inc. came into effect last year. Oh gosh, no, 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, where our team grew, and we decided that we would branch off from our initial team, which was the Legacy Collective, and then we branched off from that and started Amaia Inc. What Amaia Inc. represents, though, is a collective of us. So there's like 8 founding members. That's why I'm one of the co-founders of Amaia Inc. Amaia is like the highest pinnacle, te taumata I roto I tō ao. So that's what Amaia means to us, is reaching for those higher highs, nearest to God, nearest to whoever your highest is. And the Inc. actually stands for inclusivity. So no matter which walk of life you come from, it's not an incorporation. It's an inclusivity. We have a seat at our table for you to eat. That's what Amaia inclusive means. So Oz is in there too. So she actually joined our business as well. We've got people that are already running their traditional businesses. They are kai miri, kai rongoa. We've got musicians, singer-songwriters, interior designers. So there's actually a collective of us that bring our unique skills to the table in Amaia Inc. But for my sister and I, we just went over to our convention in Japan, in Okinawa, representing arigato gozaimasu. They were some beautiful people, manakitanga to the, honestly, they probably give us a run for our money, bro. The Japanese people are so beautiful. But
I think they would too, just because it's not like they don't go away from it, whereas like some of our people can go away from it depending on the setting.
That's right, bro.
That's them to the core. You know what I mean? Like their whole that, and I guess a part of it is colonization. Like you think about it, they're not colonized there. That's their reo, that's their whenua. Like the way the whole place is run on that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or their tūmanako, like you know what I mean? All of that stuff. It's all, man.
It's all tūturu. It's all still
I reckon they got us, but that's great to play because that means we can be better. As people and as humans.
Look, they demonstrate some really beautiful values that it was nice to witness and to see firsthand, and to, like I said in my latest post, to go to one of the blue zones of the world as well. So know much about that, bro. I was like freaking out how many pakeke and kaumatoa there were, like over 100 years old, man, still doing, like, out on the streets running, doing stuff. I was like thinking, holy hecka, like grateful that our machines are made there, that we have like insight to this whenua and to these people and to the amazing culture that they have. But Amaia Inc. is a growing force, a growing movement of individuals that come together to wānanga, to embrace our culture and to stay tūturu to our morals and values as well.
Hey, beautiful. So just on that too, on the kazis over there and the Nipponese, the Nippon brothers. But I think too, like even got whanaungas that play in Japan football and some bros that
Yeah.
and they all say when your season finishes, You don't just like have a puss up and take off. You gotta like go and shake everyone's hand, and at the end, like you have all these different huis too before you can
Yeah.
leave. Like it's not just oh yeah, puss up and you're off. Like maybe a prize giving or something. There's like huis and that because with that competition, like the football competitions they have over there, you're an employee of the company too. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
true that.
And but then the company, even though these are corporate, big corporations, multi-billion-dollar corporations, they still have honor and integrity.
They do, man.
Yeah.
They are very much just so kind and helpful. And even coming home, I was like, man, I miss the people. Gosh, they're so helpful and everything. But it makes me realize how grateful we are too to live in such a beautiful country as well.
Yes.
And I think also just talking about our purpose and our reason for being here. We've got our tamariki, bro. You got your children and I have mine too. And for me, my whole life changed when I had my own babies. My own son. Bro, it was like, okay, now I've got a reason to get up and work, to get up and make change, to get up and be a role model, to go and actually do something that means something, and so never losing sight of that, because they're always watching. My babies are always watching, regardless of the sacrifice that we are making at the moment. I'm always trying my best to be a present parent as much as I can, even though I'm working full-time corporate as well, because I've left the Navy and now I work in the Konihira. It's like a different ball game, it's 9 to 5 corporate world, and trying to fill in all the gaps and trying to run the businesses. People would say to me, how are you doing it all? And I'm like, fuck, I actually don't know how I'm doing it all. It's like, I'm not really good with time management, but I'm somehow making it all work. But you make time for the things that matter, and you make time for the people that matter too. And so that's pretty much me, bro. I mean, in like probably 10 minutes, my sons will probably start walking through the door screaming their head off.
Before they do, I got a couple of quick ones there. I got a couple of quick questions before they do, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, every day you got to eat this meal, what do you choose?
Oh my gosh. Bro, I love fettuccine. I love my mum's fettuccine. But if I could, I'll be like, well, I don't know if I can handle that every day.
Yeah. Start looking fettuccine. Hey, why not?
Definitely.
So is that what you're going for?
Let's say some hua whenua and some hua rako, bro. I reckon I could do that every day. Nah, my mum's fettuccine, bro. We go with that.
Yeah. We already know the rako you're going for. But what about superpowers, sis, besides the ones you already possess? If you could choose a superpower or create one, which would you create or choose, and why?
Shit. Okay. I asked you if there were any patois so I could be prepared. But anyway,
those ones. Those are just like. Bro, if you watch my podcast, I ask the same ones every one. I ask those three. I just like 3-4 questions at the end that I asked everybody. So yeah, sorry, my bad. I forgot about those ones. Yeah. It's just
if I could, oh shit, man, I would want to read your mind. No, mind reader.
Really? Oh snap!
But why?
With that one. Why? Why do you want to read it?
Why? So I could execute in the right way. I guess that would be like execute in any way that I need to. Be like, okay, I know what you're thinking, so I'm gonna go this way.
I'm out of here. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Cool. There's your superpower. That's cool. Give us a piece of advice that you'd like to give to anybody that wants to pursue either music or even the entrepreneurial journey like yourself.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, we'll go. So with music, if you want to do music, just don't feel like you have to do things in $1 million studio to crack it. Or like everyone is so lucky now. Like these days, everybody is lucky because you have the internet, you have cell phones, you have headphones. I recorded my last album with my headphones and my laptop, and it got nominated for awards. So you don't need to have a studio, and I'll teach you how to do that. I think stay true to yourself and your goals. if music is what you want to do, pursue it. Just do it. That's my
Yeesh.
music one. When it comes to business, be around people that inspire you. Be around and watch people that drive you to want to be more hungry for it, who are going to uplift you, not gatekeep you. Be around in proximity of those who you want to be like. If people are telling you you can't make it and they're not doing what you want to do, then don't listen to them.
Hell no.
Don't listen to them, okay? Because they're going to stay where they are. Just know, though, that there will be some people that are closest to you. I've actually got a song called Closer They Are, Closer It Hurts. And it's because, you know, you really want the ones that are closest to you to support you, but sometimes they don't. So as long as you got your own back, that's all that matters. Make sure that you have your own back first. And just another plug too on that. My when I was going through that period of, you know, that time when I actually slipped on that cliff, I wrote a song called If I Was Invisible. Go and check it out on Spotify by Mistee K.
Check it out, fam.
If I Was Invisible. And I listen to that sometimes because it reminds me, like, there's no one else to prove it to, that I got my own back, whether you're facing, you know, being bullied, or you're facing struggles in your own life, or you're feeling like no one can hear you or see you, or, you know, you can't even get out of bed. Just know that you've got your own back. So in the entrepreneurial space, say, instead of I want to, I will. Change your language to I will, and you definitely will. Just like the bro here, he will crack it with the biggest podcast in the world because he's already doing it.
That's it. Last one says visualization 10 years from now. What do you hope life looks like for Melz, aka Mistee K?
Oh, bro, happy bliss. Just waving the card, you know, not having to look at the account, but really just healthy, happy, surrounded by love, bro.
Beautiful.
And I'll be cracking it.
It's on. I just want to say, sis, time's the most valuable commodity we have as humans. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money, things, but time spent is time lost. So thank you for sharing over an hour and a half of your time with me. And even the half an hour that you put into voice messages that you sent me about yourself. Thank you for that too. That was a journey that was on, but yeah. We didn't touch on everything, but the cool thing is, I think, is that it gives us an opportunity to come back again sometime and call it or some more. Hey, maybe even one day I might even make maybe one day I might make Waka chat. See, might even make it crack it, eh?
Bro, I just said that I was like just inviting you as you were talking. I was like, maybe I could get you over on Waka chat so we can finish off over there.
Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.